Hello everyone and welcome to Gaming Guides for the Over 40s Guide to Resident Evil 2. I've just arrived at the police station, so I'm going to walk and talk, and I hope that's okay to save a bit of time. So the reason for doing this guide, which hopefully will be the first of many, is that I was looking for a guide for someone like me. Just going to grab some handgun ammo. And I couldn't find one for exactly what I was looking for, so I thought, well, rather than whinge about it, I'd make one, and hopefully someone else might find it useful. So who is someone like me? Someone like me is an old man who still plays games every day, still loves games just as much as when he was a kid, still buys all the new games on release. I don't really use guides very much myself, but when I do, I normally find that it's because I can't remember where things are because I'm old and my memory shit, or I just don't go as fast as other people, and you know, they talk a bit quickly and I miss things. So for me it was important to try and make a guide that not necessarily goes slower, but in terms of the total playtime, but rather just gives people time to look at things in a bit more detail, see things as they should be, and hopefully, you know, throw in a few more reminders. Okay, so this is another shortcut that you won't be able to find out until earlier, that how to get the first medallion. This information is available later when you pick up the notebook, but I'm giving the shortcuts now because it just makes things a lot easier. Okay, after you come upstairs to get the green herb, I'm going to go to the safe for another shortcut, and I'll admit the first time I did this took me about 100 tries, even though I had the combination, and the reason being is purely because it says here press to confirm, so I would go to the first number, which in this case is left 6, and press X to confirm, and it would immediately take me out. And what I didn't realise forever, because I'm stupid, is that you need to do it in the style you would have seen in old movies when the thief is cracking the safe. Move to each number, wait for a second, and then move to the next number, or do it incorrectly like that. So left 6, wait for a second, right 2, wait for a second, left 11, and there you go. And what we have here is the muzzle brake for the Matilda, which is your handgun, and this is just some nonsense. Feel free to read that if you like. Okay, we don't have the keys for this yet, but I'm marking the doors because then they will show up on the map, and later on when you're looking for where you need to go and what you need to do, if you know you can see there's a locked door, then, and what key you will need to open it, it will just makes things a lot easier. Okay, so for now I'm going to put the first medallion where it needs to be, so that's done. And if you've played the demo, you already know the first maybe 15 minutes of the game. This game is pretty much exactly the same. Okay, so here's the map. Come back to that in a second. Just because I've noticed about health. Okay, so we're just going to combine the handgun. Sorry. Going to combine with the item we just picked up. So that makes our handgun a little better. I'm able to fire more bullets. Okay. As I say, if you've played the demo, you already know the first 10-15 minutes. You need to go to the policeman who's calling you on the radio, pick up the notebook, that's going to give you the clues to how to get the medallions, and then come back to the main area of the station. Okay, so again I'm just going to mark this so you know where it is on the map. Try all doors, so you can see where they are, which ones are locked and which ones are unlocked. Okay, pop in this room on the left. You can turn the light on if you want, I always do. Pick up some more ammo, and if you look over here, you want to remember this desk. This is for quite later on in the game. You'll get a roll of film that you need to develop, and it will give you a clue about where to go for a special weapon to pick up, and this is where you need to come back to, but we'll get back to that much later. So first things first, when you do encounter the zombies, always go for headshots. They will save you ammo in the long run, and even if you miss with a couple of shots, you'll do more damage with the headshots. Just going to pick up a first aid spray. And unlike in the previous games in this series, the zombies in this are a lot tougher. They take a lot more damage before they go down fully. Maybe only 5 or 6 before they'll go down the first time. But unless you manage to put a hole in a zombie's head, and by that I mean actually blow its head off, with either a lucky shot from your handgun or a shot from the shotgun, there will always be a chance that they will get back up. So bear that in mind. But for a lot of times and a lot of the areas, all you need to do is shoot them enough times to knock them down, because some areas you only need to go through once. I'm not skipping the cutscenes at the minute because I'm not doing a speed run exactly. I'm just going to do it as quickly as possible without rushing too much, and I don't want to, feel like I'm skipping too much up in case you're watching it just for the story. Okay, so this is going to encounter our first zombie, and like I said, all you need to do, give him a few headshots, enough to put him down. Don't worry at this moment about killing him fully. And if you miss, that's fine. Just skip past him. Okay. Oops, just mark this door. You're going to need the bolt cutters for that, which you'll get later. Okay, 2 more zombies here. Again, just enough to put them down. Nothing beyond that. Pop in this room here if you want. There's a zombie in there. I'm just giving it a miss for now because the only thing that's in there is a board for the windows, and you get plenty of those later on anyway. So there's no need to fight the zombie at that point. Okay, so we've got the notebook now, and that'll give you clues to where the medallions are, but as I said, I'm going to skip ahead in terms of I already know where the medallions are, and I'm going to provide codes for the other safes so you can get the items sooner than you would in the game. Okay, I'm just going to skip this bit because it goes on a little bit. Okay, so now we've got the combat knife, and just need to ditch an item in the chest before we do that. And so you come to the chest, these are all over the game, you can put items in them, and see an item like this is important. If it has a red tick next to it, as this one does, that means it's served its purpose in the game and you don't need to use it anymore, so feel free to put it in the safe. Okay. The other thing to remember with this game is that unlike the original games, if you use herbs or first aid sprays, it doesn't make any difference to your ranking at the end. Whereas in the original, you might remember, you were really, if you wanted a high rank, you had to avoid using first aid sprays and only stick to herbs. But in this version, it doesn't matter at all. You can use either. You might remember in the original, this was the first time you saw the liquor go past the window. It's in a different place in this version. Okay, just going to have a quick look at this guy here, just because it looks quite cool when his head falls off. Ew. Okay, look out for this guy here because he's going to drop on your head. Locked door here which you don't have the key for yet, but again just marking the doors. Okay, now these are the windows that you can get the boards for and use to board them up, and what that does is it stops zombies coming in through the windows. So if you look on your map, anywhere you see marks like this in any of the corridors means there's a window that can be boarded, and if you're going to come through this any of these corridors more than once, it's always useful to have a board there to cover it up. I could have got the one from the previous room, but you don't come through here very often, so it's not a complete waste, but not essential either. Okay, there's one here, and then this guy comes through the window, but you don't need to worry about him for now. Okay, just going to mark this door here. Also needs the bolt cutters. Like I say, I'm not going to bother pausing to read these. If you want to do that, feel free. We're going to get the map off here now. Okay, so this is the police station map. So, just to go through it in a bit more detail, areas in black are places you haven't been to at all. Areas in blue-grey are places you have been to, and areas in red are places either where you are now, or they're places where you need to go to, in terms of there'll be areas where there are important items to further the story, or they're simply rooms where there are items that you've left behind. So if you can see, if you do leave stuff behind, it will get marked on the map. So here you can see typewriter, item box, the goddess statue, and down here the fuse box. These are all things that are yet to be interacted with and completed. And in terms of the doors, you've got this one here, which you see, because I tried to open it, it's now marked on the map as the club door, so you need the club key. These white doors are doors that are potentially open. It doesn't mean they definitely are open, it just means you haven't tried the doors yet. So that's why it's important just to give each door a try as you walk past, because it will let you know if it's locked or unlocked, or if it needs a key. So for this one you can see red is closed because it needs the bolt cutters. That's the one I just came through. Blue is open, and white are currently unknown. Okay, so now I'm going to go up here. This is the way out. Out the window. And encounter another zombie. And you've got time to get a couple of good headshots on him. And he is worth killing, simply because he's one of these guys who, when you come back through here later on, will pop up and try and kill you. So it's good to kill him now, because otherwise you can forget about him. So an old original game Resident Evil 2 kind of trick is to equip your knife. If you see him on the floor, which is hold down L1 and give him a few swipes and see if he gets up. And if he moves, then obviously he's still alive. Or undead. Undead alive? You know what I mean. Anyway, this guy is dead, so that's fine. Now that's a good way to test someone without wasting any bullets. But you can also do them a decent amount of damage just with your knife as well. And just keep swinging away until they stop moving, because like I said earlier, the zombies in this game are very, very resilient, and some of them you can put down 2 or 3 times and they'll still get back up. See, this guy's already stopped moving 2 or 3 times, but yet keeps going and going. But I'm not wasting any ammo. Okay, is he dead? Yep, he's dead. Okay, now your knife does have, it will break eventually, but the important thing is you do get lots more knives, so don't worry about using them. Okay, now here's another guy who's not dead, so put a few shots in him. Okay, and now going to give him a few digs, see if he's still alive. No, he's dead. Okay, so we're going to pick up some gunpowder. Now in this game it takes, he's just explaining here about handgun, shotgun, mag ammo, how to mix them. Okay, so this uses a mechanic from Resident Evil 3, which is the mixing of gunpowder, and you have to mix certain compounds together to make either handgun ammo or shotgun ammo or magnum ammo. So at the minute we've just got one, so that's no good on its own. We're going to need two different gunpowders in order to make some. Okay, now if we go into the office here, you see another guy on the floor who's dead but not dead, and this time we're just going to give him a few shots in the head just to wake him up. Okay, so back off, let him come at you. Like with the other zombies, what we're looking to do is knock him to the floor and then go over and give him a few whacks with the knife. And always come up behind him if you're going to do the knife test, because it gives you a much better chance of avoiding getting grabbed. Okay, this guy's dead. Okay, now in this office we're going to have our second code cheat for the safe rather. Okay, so it's left 9, wait a second, right 15, oops, wait a second, and then left 7. I might have cocked this up actually. Yeah, it did, sorry. Okay, left 9, right 15, left 7. It is actually harder than it looks because the dial is quite sensitive. Okay, and now we're going to get hip pouch. And there's several of these to pick up throughout the game, and as you can see they're very, very useful because they allow you to carry more stuff, which means you don't have to do so much backtracking for 1, and just let you carry more ammo and other goodies for 2. Okay, another file to look at here, please read that at your leisure. Okay, and now one of the first puzzles of the game is your first assignment, and you have to work out how to open this. There's 2 combination locks here, and what you need to do is work out the initials for them, which letters to put in. So the first one is NED, the second one is MRG, and what you get for your troubles is high capacity magazine, which you now need to combine, and as you can see when I load up now, your capacity is 24. If you want to know how to work that code out, the initials are just the first names from each person on these desks. So David, Elliot and Neil, or NED if you're reading from this side. And for this one it is Rita and Marvin and oh, I forget how I got the G one. Anyway, that is the correct code I've just shown you. Okay, So here, another door to mark. We don't have that key yet, but that just opens up a shortcut later on. Okay, so now we're going to go back down the corridor and we're going to pick up our first board for the window, which is here. And we're going to block up this window because we're going to come past here several times. Okay, so that window now is fully blocked. No zombies can get in. Even later on, sometimes you'll hear the glass breaking, but don't worry because they can't get in. So as long as it's boarded, it's absolutely fine. Okay, so this is a note about herbs, and what it's telling you is, just like in the original, if you mix red and green herbs together, which I'm going to do now, which are green with a red, using one of those will fully restore your health. Okay, and just mark in here where the lab, the photo lab is. This is where you need to develop rolls of films, which you'll find 3 or 4 throughout the game. Okay, got another chest here. So don't need the first aid spray and don't need the gunpowder because I haven't got any of the gunpowder to combine it with yet. Look in the cabinets over here. Oh, there's some good powder, forgot about that. And some handgun ammo. Now the other thing about this game that's different from the original is the saves. You can feel free to save as much as you like. Again, it won't make any difference to your rank. The rank is purely based on time, so feel free to save as often as you like. I'm playing it on standard mode and the game will save automatically for you, excuse me, but only at certain moments. So it will save maybe every, let's say, 10-15 minutes. On my first playthrough I only died once, and the time I died was, well, it set me back about 10 minutes, so you know, not too bad. Okay, I'm just going to go along here, get a red herb, and then I'm going to go into the shower room. Okay, we need a valve handle for this that we don't have yet, and there's also a couple of lockers here with some stuff in, including a dead body. Dun dun dun. Okay, he's fully dead, won't get you. Okay, now here is another code that you won't get until later on, but I'm going to give it to you now as soon as I find it. Okay, D, C, M. Oops, sorry, that's the wrong one. Is it? Oh, C, A, P? Yes, that's the one. Sorry about that. Okay, and now we've got some lovely shotgun shells, although we don't have the shotgun yet, but we will soon enough. Okay, see some more, which is nice. Okay, nothing in there. Okay, now what we've got here is a portable safe, and the way these open is there is a combination. So what you need to do is go to the safe, click on examine, and it has a code you need to input. Now the way I've coded it myself is like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I'm going to input the code from my previous playthroughs and hopefully it should still be the same. So it's 1, 2, 4. Okay, so it's different, unfortunately, so it's going to take a minute to work out. So 1, 2, no, 1, 3, okay, 1, 3, so it seems like it's different every time. 1, 3, no, 1, 3, no, 1, 3, 8. Okay, 1, 3, 4. No, 1, 3, 4. No, 1, 3, 4. 1, 3, 4, 2. Okay, 1, 3, 4, 2, 5, 8, 1, 3, 4, 2, 5, 6, 8, 7. Okay, sorry about that. I thought it would be the same from the first playthrough, but it seems like it's completely randomised each time. Okay, so what we've got here now is, if you examine it, is a spare key. And that is a spare key for a keyboard in the locker room downstairs, or the weapons room rather. So we're going to go back and grab that, because it's going to make things much easier. Okay, you hear the glass breaking, that's the zombie, but he can't get through, so don't worry about him. And we're just going to go to this room here. Okay. Now there are 2 spare keys you need to get, but I'm just going to come here to save a bit of time. So if you look on the keyboard, you can see there are 2 keys missing, the 2 and the 3. So you have to choose which one you want to do first, which is the most useful to you. Okay, so the best way to decide is to look in these little cabinets, because you need to press this number on the keypad to open it. So the first one is gunpowder, another spare knife, you've got a roll of film, and some handgun bullets. These also seem to be slightly randomised each time, unless my memory's letting me down, which is perfectly possible. Shotgun ammo, and a pouch. Okay, this is for extra carrying capacitor. Now you can see this one has the code 203, so that means you will need both spare buttons for the keypad in order to get it, so we can't get that one yet. But we can get the shotgun ammo if we want, but there's only 2 things that side, whereas this side there are 4. So we've got 109, 106, 103 and 102. So let's see, I'm going to put in number 2. That's what I normally do first. Okay, and now if you look at you just go back here, just as a reminder, 102, 103, can't get that, so 102, 106, 109. Okay, so 102, that one's now open. 106, that one's open, and 109, and that one's open too. So what we have now is some more gunpowder. Oops. We have a roll of film, and we have some spare handgun ammo, which is always handy. Okay, and at the back of the room here, you can see this is where the shotgun is. Fortunately, we can't get it yet because we need the weapons locker key card, so we won't get that until a bit later on. Okay, we can also, just for now, just so I don't forget, is open up the 208 locker and get some more shotgun shells. Okay, so we're going to get those. Okay, so we're all nicely tooled up now. Currently, we haven't got any major concerns about anyone we're coming up to meet. We've got plenty of ammo. There's only a few zombies around at the minute. Nothing major as yet. Okay, so here's another guy who come from the head side when you're going to do the knife trick, because then they always stand up feet first. Okay, he's dead. Okay, up here should be some handgun ammo. Yep. Okay, now here is another locker, which you wouldn't get the code for until much later, but I'm going to do it now to save some time. DCM. And this isn't like a massive cheat as such. Okay, so this is Magnum ammo, which again we don't have yet. It's simply just a way of okay, so don't have room for that key, so I'm going to combine the gunpowder and then combine the ammo. Okay, so now I've got what is the club key, and it's worth examining because then it will the spade key, because then it will tell you it's a spade key, and once you've done that in your inventory, it will also let you know which rooms you can or can't open in the mansion. So on the 3rd floor, this is all there is so far. Then on the 2nd floor, that's in the shower room. There's some handgun ammo. That's the good thing about once you get the map. It will show you where there are things are that you've left, and as you can see, the room is highlighted in red, meaning there's something there that you need to go back for. In this case, it's handgun ammo. Okay, and then on the ground floor, you see they've got the rooms here. These are in red because the stuff's still to do. These are in red because the stuff's still to do, and these are in red because there's things there to collect: the weapons locker, the combat knife, the hip pouch, etc. Okay, as you can see, we can now go back down. Once we get the club key, we'll be able to go back downstairs and open it, and you can see the places here that we haven't been to yet, that's still black, and the doors are white, meaning that we don't know if they'll open or not as yet. Okay, so now we're going to go along the corridor here, and now we are going to get our first look at the liquor. If you see him there, fly past the window, just like in the original, but just in a different spot. Okay. And I'm just going to go down to the end of the corridor here, because this is just a little thing that tells you how to fight the liquors, and what it's saying to you is that they are blind, completely blind, which they are, and they rely purely on sound. So once you meet a liquor, as long as you stay quiet, you are mostly safe. Don't want to say actually safe. I'll come back for that in a second, because they are super dangerous. Okay, we're going to pick up another expansion for the hip pouch now. There you go. So now we've got 12 slots, and you can get 20 altogether. So later on you'll be at the point where you don't have to worry about really leaving anything behind. Okay, this is a note just talking about this, which is some C4 planted on the wall, and what we need to do for that is get a detonator. So what we need for that is 2 parts. We need a detonator, and we're going to need a battery, but we'll get those later. Okay, so I'm just going to go back and grab the gunpowder, and now we're going to head into the library. Okay, so from up here, okay, this is Marvin telling us to come back to the main room because he needs our help. But first, we're going to kill these zombies. If you can reach, no, can't quite reach them up there. So get a good clean headshot in from here, and the same for this guy. Okay, he's down but probably not dead. Okay, so when you come along here, be careful, don't go to the left, otherwise you'll fall through a hole in the floor. So what you want to do is come down to the right. There's a few zombies on the floor here. Now some of these will still get up if you're not careful. And you can find a combat knife here, which is always handy. Okay, so we need to come back to this bit later on. So we're going to kill this guy. Or lady, rather. And this one. Okay, now you see I've shot him there, got a lucky shot and put a hole in his head. He is fully dead, you don't have to worry about sticking any knives in him. But we do still have to worry about this one. Okay, that one's okay. And this one's freshly bitten, so it could still come back. Okay, that one's okay. So be really, really careful with the zombies, they're deceptively dangerous. Speak of the devil. They are slow. Oh great, another lucky shot. So he's fully dead too. Which is nice. Okay. Now this is the red book. Okay, I'm going to come back to that in a second. Yeah, sorry, slightly overburdened myself. Just going to pop that to the, just going to use the spade key. Okay. Come back in 1 sec. Just going to have a quick chat to Marvin. And have a little cut and a little cutscene here. So we get to see Claire that she's okay. Okay, just going to skip this. He just talks about how you get out using the medallions, which we already know. So, I'm going to ditch a couple of things in the safety deposit box. So, oh, roll of film. Just need to investigate that. Okay, and what that's going to tell you is about a puzzle later on with the statue, but I already know what to do with that one, so we can get rid of that. We don't have the magnum, so we can get rid of that. We've already got one green and red herb, so we can get rid of that. So we haven't got the shotgun yet, so we can get rid of that. Okay, and we can ditch that too. So we've got ammo, key, knife, board. Okay, we're all good. And might as well save while we're here. Again, save as much as you like. It won't make any difference to your ranking. It will tell you at the end how many saves you used, but it's purely based on time. Okay, so a couple of things to do in here now. Go through this door to get the second medallion, which is here. This is the unicorn, which is, in my own notation, fish, scorpion, oops, and jug. There we go, jug of water. Okay, so we've got that. We've got the map of the upper floors now, as well as the lower, so we've got upper and lower floors now, and that means if you switch between them, it will show you the whole area. Again, areas in black, places you've not been to, doors in white could be locked or unlocked, doors in blue, unlocked, and places that you cannot get through without certain items, like the explosive barricade, are also marked. Okay, I'm just going to mark this door, which is locked. And some gunpowder. Going to go through here, going to get the red book off the table. Now this isn't like the books in the original Resident Evil games where you would examine them and the pages would flip open and there would be a medallion or something inside. This book is just a plastic book that you need to add to a statue. Okay, so I'm going to put second medallion in there, which opens it up a little more. Okay, and now we can see on the map, if we go up to the second floor, there is the spade door, and we have the spade key, so that means we can now go through there. And this is where we're going to go to the statue puzzle that I was just talking about, which is why you need the red book. Okay, so this is the safe room we went into before. Gonna unlock the door. Okay, in we go. There's another board here which you can combine. Save space. This is again just marking this on the map. You're going to need a crank handle to open that door, which again is a classic Resident Evil item. Okay, some magazine there. Weapons locker keycard, which gives us, as you might recall, the shotgun, which is very, very nice. Okay, and now we're going to do the puzzle. So what we need to do is take the arm first, then combine the book and the arm, and then put it on the statue. And this is going to give us the red jewel, which won't do anything at the moment, but in a little while when we get the jeweled box, you need to put the jewel in the jeweled box to solve a puzzle. Okay, so again in the standard classic Resi style, examine it, and you'll find a little button, and it turns into the red jewel. There you go. Okay, so now we're just going to nip back downstairs, because now we've got the weapons key card and we can go and get the shotgun. Okay, now we can open this door which we came through earlier. Which leads to the office we came through earlier. Okay, and you can see now that this key is useless. It's opened all the doors it needs to open, so we're just going to get rid of it. I just like to keep hold of things, but if you prefer, and we'll get rid of that too, and the red jewel, because we don't need that yet. But if you prefer, you can just discard it from your inventory and it will just be lost. Like I say, once it's done, it's done. You're never going to need it back again. Okay, so this is the quickest way to the weapons locker room, right across the corridor, all the way to the end, and here we go. I'm going to get the lovely shotgun, which now is automatically on your inventory, which you can quick select between the pistol and the shotgun using the D-pad. And we could have waited until a little bit later on. You could have come back there once we've got the second key for the keypad, which would have saved a little bit of time. But as this is supposed to be a helpful guide, it's good to have the shotgun as soon as possible, because you know you can't be too careful. Okay, so we'll go back to where we were a second ago, and this time we're going to go right instead of left. Okay, when you get to any of these corridors, that's a helicopter crashing. You can check along the corridors to see if there's any marks on the walls where you can put the boards to block the windows. If there aren't any boards, you won't be able to do that. You might remember in the original Resident Evil game, you could put down metal shutters to block out the dogs coming through the window. So this is like a more old-fashioned, if you like, version of that. Okay, so what we're going to find out here is that there's a helicopter that's crashed and we can't get through this way. So now we need to go the long way round, and we're going to get to talk to Claire for a second. Okay, I'm just going to skip that. She just says, "Hi, I'm stuck on this side, you're stuck on that side, what are we going to do?" Okay, now we're going to pick up the bolt cutters, and as you remember, we've passed several places with bolt cutters, so we're going to be able to go back now and open all of those, which will open up a lot more areas in the game. Okay, so be careful coming in here. Okay, these ones will never come through this door, so don't worry about them. Another board for the windows. Okay, but there are a few on the floor in here, and they are dangerous, so watch out for them. Okay, we're going to knife trick this guy. Seems dead. Oops. Okay, this guy just came through the window, which is what the boards are for. Another one. Okay, I'm going to put boards on the window. You can see this guy's still alive. Okay, so they're both still alive, it looks like. Oops. Okay, he should be dead. This guy can't be too careful. Chop his leg off, always a good sign, but he's still going. Okay, and you can see on the bottom right corner now my knife is red, which means it's almost ready to break. So it's always good to have another one in backup. Okay, now we can use the bolt cutters on this door, which you might recall is the area we came through previously. So when we came earlier at the very start of the game, this was the area we came to, where we got the notebook from the guy who got crushed under the shutter, which I'm just going to show you. This bit, see? Okay, so we've already been through this corridor, don't need to go back there for any reason. Now we're in a new office. There's a window over here that breaks very quickly. You have to get here as quick as you can. First thing, block that window, otherwise the guy will come through. Okay, now this guy's still alive, as I'm sure you can guess. Okay, my knife is now broken. Just going to put one in his head, just to be on the safe side. More handgun ammo, which is handy. Now there's a guy on the other side of the station. You can see him there. Oh, that's cool, I've not seen that before. Smashing books. Okay, now he looks dead, could well still be alive. Okay, now we're going to pick up here is our first flash grenade. Okay, and these work similar to the knife, which I don't think I explained already. You can, if you hold down L1, you can change your sub item, and these can be knives, flash grenades, or later on you get actual explosive grenades. Okay, now it's up to you which one you want to highlight as your secondary weapon. Firstly, because if you press L1, you can just use the knife. And secondly, oh, you see, I knew this guy wasn't dead. Okay, still probably not dead. So I'll get the knife out. Oh, no, he's dead. Okay, so using the flash grenade, if you prefer, press right on the D-pad, and you can hold it like this and just throw it into a bunch of zombies, and what it'll do, it will go off, it will flash. They'll be blinded for a few seconds, and in that time you can get in a few headshots or run, whichever you prefer. But with the knife, it also works like an emergency weapon, which you might remember from the Resident Evil remake on the GameCube, I think it was. Which, what that had was, it had flash grenades and normal grenades, and if you got grabbed by a zombie, you could stick it in their mouth and then it would explode. And this game does exactly the same. Okay, this is the electrical part for the corridor, which you might remember we passed originally in the game. Which I'll go back to in a second. Okay, and important item, the handle, which you might remember was from the shower room. Okay, can't pick that up as yet. Should we board that window? No, because we don't need to come back here. Okay, just seeing if there's anything I can combine to save coming back. No. But this is high grade gunpowder, so it's worth coming back for. Okay, knock this chair down. We're going to be back in the corridor we were at the very beginning. Use the electrical part. Turn the lights on. Oh. Worth killing him. Because we want to get that high grade gunpowder and he's just in the way. So I'll keep on whacking him. Once a limb falls off, he's usually dead. Okay. Back through the office. Get the gunpowder. Okay, this is now open this shutter here. And what we've got the oh, missed that. Well, it's there just in case. Okay, so you can put away the gunpowder for now, and the herb. So we need the valve handle, the bolt cutters, and let's take the shotgun cells to be on the safe side. Okay, and might as well do a little save while we're here. Okay, so we're going to go back upstairs now to the shower room and use the valve handle, which will open up a new area that we couldn't previously access. Okay, up we go. Yeah, I was about to say, when you come to back through previous areas, oh, that's handy. I haven't seen that before. Always check, because there are zombies on the floor that will appear dead, even if you shoot them or knife them, won't get up, but they will activate themselves later on. Okay, so use this valve here, which now gets rid of the steam so we can cross. And we should get a save point. See in the top left corner, it means it's saving. That's an automatic save. This guy never gets up, so don't worry about him. Just going to reload our ammo. Gunpowder. Okay, and now we are about to meet the licker for real this time. And it is entirely up to you what you want to do. Whether you want to fight him or just skip past him. Okay, see him there? He just grabbed a guy off the floor and now he's eating him. Okay, so when you're in an area where the lickers are, always look on the roofs, because most of the time that's where they'll be. Okay, now even with the shotgun, these are still very dangerous. So it's up to you to decide what to do. If you prefer, you can creep past him, but you have to go super slow. Okay? So it's entirely up to you what you need to do. If you go super slow, he won't notice you. But you really have to be just as gentle as you can move on the analog stick. Like a bit of a glitch there. Okay, this guy obviously wants to fight, so what can you do? Okay, now you see there, that's why you have to be careful when you're fighting them. One hit and they'll take you down to almost 0 health. Okay, so we're going to use our health pack there. Reload. I think this guy might kill me here if I'm not careful. Oh, he did. Well, it's never happened to me before, so what can I say? Shame. So maybe it is better then to stick to the sneaking, because frankly you don't have enough ammo. You see, it goes right back here where we just were, so it's not a massive loss in time. You won't lose any ranking points for continuing, so it's not a big issue. Okay, so keep your eye on him up here if you want to see where he is. Okay, let him do his eating. As I say, just go super slow. Now the thing is, before I shot him because he was coming towards me, but he didn't actually see me yet. And you can tell he hasn't seen you because he's not killing you, basically. Right, I'm at the end of the corridor. I'm going to keep backing away, because I don't want to go into the STARS office, which is literally just along the corridor, which is here. I don't have the key for that yet, so what am I doing? Okay, what we've done there is open a shortcut back to the library area, which you might remember from before. Okay, so that's the diamond door, which the key we don't have yet. I've just realised that I went right past the STARS office where I was supposed to go. So I can say that was a deliberate mistake, because the whole point of doing this guide and trying to make it different from other guides is that I wanted to do something that compensates for people like me who have a really shitty memory and need things repeating. So yeah, let's call that one a deliberate mistake. Okay, now we're in the STARS office. You won't follow us in here, so we're all good. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so there's a red herb there. I'm not going to pick that up just yet. There's a battery, and we need that for the detonator, but again we don't have yet. Internal memo just tells you about the combination, which we've already done to the safe. Okay, and here is another location to remember for later on. Like the one I mentioned earlier, once you develop a roll of film, it'll give you 2 locations in the station to come back to for special items, and one of them is you come back here and you get the laser sight for the Magnum. Okay, so if we come in here now, okay, what we see is that we need, there's a computer there, there's a computer screen here, and what we need for this is a dongle, a USB dongle, which we don't have yet. But again, I'm just showing you where everything is, because in the back there, tantalizing is the Magnum. There are a few items to pick up in the office here. So we've got some nice shotgun ammo, and we've got another flash grenade. Oh, was that it? Yeah. And there's a first aid. Now you can leave that here for now because you don't need it right now, and you'll be coming back here later anyway. Okay, some more, and you might need it later. Some gunpowder. And the red herb. Again, just leave that there for now because you don't need it for now, so no worries there. Okay, and you can see these things are marked on the map.